See, very interesting, this sixth Parsha. The Torah goes through the different nations, that which nation could join Klal Israel, who could become a ger. Baruch Hashem, we are Bnei Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. We have the zechut to be under the Kanfei Shekhinah. So we are Jews, we are Israel. But the other nations that they didn't accept the Torah, still they have the opportunity to become a ger, to become a Jew. So Torah here in this sixth Parsha goes through different nations who is qualified to become a Jew. So Torah goes through a list. Lo yavo Amoni u'Moavi b'kal Hashem. Ammon and Moab, they cannot become a Jew. Yam Dom Siro Yavalem b'kal Hashem. Ad Olam, forever. They are not qualified. Then Torah goes Lo teta'ev Adomi. But you know, Adomi, the Bnei Esav, they could become a Jew. Esav, Sonei Israel, well, that's fine. They could become a Jew. Mitzri, Lo teta'ev Mitzri, ki ger hayita. And Mitzri, that also. They did a lot of things to Klal Israel. And 210 years, they throw our son into the river, etc. We know. And that's only one condition. 3 generations they have to wait. The first person, a Misri, wants to become a ger, a Jew, we say wait. You cannot marry a Jew, but the 3rd generation you become a ger, finish. Now here Torah tells us these conditions, who could become a Jew, who cannot become a Jew. Ammon and Moab, they can't. Why? Torah says, the reason, Al davar asher lukketum atchem belechem u'mayim. Because when Bnei Israel, they were coming out of Mizraim, they didn't come to offer water, food. That's the reason. Now, so nowadays, really doesn't make any difference for us. As the Mishnah says, that all the nations, they are mixed up. We don't know who is Ammoni, who is Moavi, who is Amaleki, who is Mitzri, who is Edomi. We don't know. So therefore, since there's a mix-up in all everybody in the world, so what do? Anybody wants to become a Jew, he could become a Jew. We accept anybody. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu knew that there is going to become a day that everyone will become a Jew. So what is this old Parsha? This nation cannot come, this nation could come, Jew, this come. What is the old Parsha here? The Parsha how Lo Yavo Ammon Moav Levay Nafkamina. Make any difference for us now? No. It was only till Bet HaMikdash we know which nation was which nation. But since then, it doesn't make any difference. So why it was written? Really, the reason that the Torah comes and tells us, Lo Yavo Ammoni u'Moavi, it's not because that the Ammon and Moab, they cannot become a Jew. Here comes a day that, yes, everybody could become. Even a person from that nation, he could become a Jew. So why did the Torah write it? The only reason that the Torah write it is because of the reasoning of it. We have to know why. Why Torah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, comes and says, this person cannot become a Jew. That reason is important for us. Why? Because you have to know. Torah, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to say that there are people you cannot call a Jew upon them. The name of Yehudi, the name of Israel, cannot call him. That's all Torah wants to tell us. Mystery, whatever he did wrong, still is worthy to be called a Jew. Edomi, whatever they did, still they are worthy. You could call them Yehudi. You could call them, they could become a ger. It's fine. But Ammon and Moavi, the Torah says, no. They cannot become a ger. You cannot call them a Yehudi. They are not Israel. Finish. So here we see why. Why Torah comes and tells us this person cannot become a Jew. You cannot call him a Yehudi. He's not a Jew. He cannot. Whatever you do. Torah says, Asher al devar asher lukidim etchem balechem mayim, because they are not machnias orchim. Because they didn't offer water and bread. Bnei Israel. Very interesting. Very interesting reason. This Ammon and Moab, they cannot be called Yehudi. Why? Because they didn't offer water. You came, the Bnei Israel, they came out of Mitzrayim after 40 years in the desert. They want to enter Eretz Israel. They want to go through the Moab, that land. No, they didn't offer. The other nation, if the reason is good reason, which sure it is, with analyzing it, we have to, nobody could become a Jew. Edom also came, when Bnei Israel, they came out of Mitzrayim, they came, fought. The Mitzrayim, they're worse than Mitzrayim. The Mitzrayim, they didn't offer the Rachem. They throw our children into the river. We had to put our children inside the wall in order to accomplish what the duty of that day was. We know the Midrash. How was the suffering the Klal Yisrael went through this during these 210 years? No, they are fine. They could become a Jew. You could call them a Jew. If they decide to accept the Ol Malchut Shamayim, they want to become a ger, that's fine. But this Ammon and Moab, no, you can't. Why? They didn't offer water and bread. What's the difference? What's the difference between Ammon and Moab and the other nations? Ramban says, nearly, I think, Ramban says, that the difference is that this nation, Ammon and Moab, they were Gemulei Chesed. We know the father of this nation, Ammon and Moab, was Lot. And what happened with the Lot? Lot was in Sodom and Gomorrah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided to destroy the Sodom and Gomorrah. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, B'zchut Avraham Avinu, I'm going to save Lot. And the Lot was saved because of Avraham Avinu. And the nation of Ammon and Moab, they came from Lot. And Ramban says that Ammon and Moab, the whole existence of their nation is because of Avraham. Now, the children of Avraham, they are coming out of Mitzrayim. You don't offer bread to them. You don't offer water. You are kifui tova. A person as a kifui tova, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, is not worthy to be called a Jew. Is not worthy to become to call him an Israel. Al devar. So Ramban says the kifui tova. Now let's analyze this. What Ramban is saying. Ramban is saying, how many generations before, if you come from Avraham Avinu till now, is Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Levi, Kehat, Amram, Moshe, which is Eliezer, and the Pinchas that went at that time. About 8, 9 generations. Now, Torah is demanding this Ammon and Moab, the 9 generations before Avram did you a chesed, you forgot? Now you are not offering water and you are kifui tova. you have such a midah of a kifui tova, you cannot become a Jew. Why? Because 9 generations before you are Gomel Chesed, the Abraham, this nation, did you a Chesed, and you saved you, now you're ignoring that. See, there's a difference between Akarat Tov and a Kifui Tova. Akarat Tov means you recognize, you have a gratitude towards somebody, he did something good. Okay, you recognize that. But here, that Kifui Tova, a chesed was done to you, and you ignore that. You don't care the chesed that was done, and you go against. This in Persian they say, namak nashnas. It is such a namak nashnas means that you are not even worthy to be called Israel, because Yehudi should be makir tov. You are kafui tov, you cannot become a Jew. Okay. We see such a midah that this nation, Amunah Moab, done. And that's why Allah Baruch Hu says, you cannot become a Jew anymore. That's the end of it. Kifui tova. If somebody does you a tova, somebody does something good to you, but afterwards, it starts suffering you, bothering you. Do you have to still be makir tov? Okay, a while ago, many years ago, he did me something good. But after that is keep repeating and suffering me. Should I still be makir tov for what I got? The Torah says, Lo teta'ev Misri. Egyptians, Mitzrayim, they could become a Jew. Why? Ki ger hayita ba'artzo. Because why? When Yaakov, there was a famine, Yaakov and the children, 70 people, there was a famine. They came to Mitzrayim and they had food there. So you got the chesed. After that chesed, what happened? For 10 years, we're suffering and killing us and bothering us. Sivlot, Avodakasha, throwing our children into the river. Still have to be makir tov? Torah says, Lot Tav Misri, yes, you should. Why? Because when at the time of a need, when your forefathers, they need a place to be, at the time of a famine, you came into this land. At that time, you were provided with the land and the food and everything. Afterwards, they do such a troubled thing to us. No, you have to makir tov. Lot of Misri, the Misri could become a Jew. And Rav Cohen says that husband and a wife, they want to get married. So each man wants to get married. Each girl wants to get married. Both of them, they are in a need. Okay, they find each other. They accomplish each other. He has need, she has a need. They come together. After a while, they get to a fight. I cannot live with her anymore. I cannot live with him anymore. Do you remember when you wanted to get married? Do you remember? If everybody would think that way, there wouldn't be any divorce. It's true. It's whatever trouble you go through, it's worse than Sivlot Mitzrayim. It's worse than that. The Torah says even these Egyptians, they suffered you. You are under Sivlot Mitzrayim. Don't forget, in the beginning, when you came to Mitzrayim, you needed a place. Yes, you have to be makir tov for that. They are not being rejected to become Israel. even with all suffering. You have to work on yourself to remember that. That's a hakarat hatov that you have. A kifui tova, when a person receives a tova from somebody, how much is important for him? At the time that he receives the tova, at that time when he needs something, he goes and he uses it. But after a while, he forgets. Unfortunately, our teva, the nature of a human being is that only he remembers the bad things, not the good things. And all the fight and everything becomes, after a while, you don't see anything, you forgot about all the good things. That's what we have to work on to be a makir tov. One of the mitzvot that we see in the Torah that has a very direct connection with this hakarat hatov. Hakarat hatov, where do we find within the 613 mitzvot, a mitzvah of makir tov? The very good example of this is a mitzvah of kivud av va'em. The whole concept of kivud av va'em is based on this hakarat hatov and not be a kivud tova. The Gemara in Yerushalmi and the Gemara in Bavli in Kedushin also says, at Echan, how much a person should be makir tov. The Mishnah in Parsha says, Elu dvarim she'en lahem shiur. There is no measure to it, and one of them is kivud av va'em. And the Gemara asks, at Echan, how far a person should have that? And the Gemara answers, okay, you want to ask me, go ask from Duma ben Natinya. What happened to him? This guy was a high rank, was a high position. He was sitting between all his friends and all people that really was respectful person. And his mother was there. And someone slaps him on the face. While he's beating him up, the Gemara says, her briefcase, her Aniki fell down. And while she's slapping on his face, he bends down and picks up the Aniki and he says, oh, you shouldn't bend down. You're giving a slap. Where? Not between you and her. In front of everybody. It's embarrassing him. Bizayon. Still, oh, kivud av va'em. It's the sense of hakarat hatov at echan megia. How far it goes. If Adomim Moavi, after 9 generations, they don't remember what was done to their grandfather, it's called a kifui tova. A child, definitely, after he's being slapped, he doesn't remember the father and mother. They brought him to this world. That shouldn't be forgotten. If you forgot that point, it's a kifui tova. We don't have hakarat hatov. We see how deep it goes, how Torah looks at this hakarat hatov. Ad kedei kach, if a person is a kifui tova, Torah says, I cannot call him a Jew. You cannot. No. He's out. It's a red line. Finish. You can't. You were being suffered under Mitzrayim. That's fine. They could be called. They come, they do teshuva. I accept Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Fine. We could become. Everything is fine. But the kifui tova is not like that. Chinuch says that the main reason of a kivud av va'em that we see, the sense of hakarat hatov, everything is because how much we have to be makir tova to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If towards the father and mother that they gave you only, you come to this world, but the meaning HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave the life to your father and mother also. How much more we have to be makir tov to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu might give you Yisurim, slap you in the face, lose your business, you are a beggar. Can you say, oh, Hashem wants from me? or you go back, thank you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Where you are being beaten up, when you are going through such a suffering, still you have a chiyuv hakarat hatov towards HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The same feeling you have towards your father and mother, because there's a feeling we know towards HaKadosh Baruch Hu we have to be told. We have to compare it to the father and mother. But it's 10 times, 100 million times more. How much of a hakarat hatov a person should have? There's a little chesed that you're being done. How deep it is. Chavat al-Vavot says in Sha'ar Avodat Elokim, says why a person should serve Hashem. Why? We're keeping Taryag mitzvot, we're keeping all the mitzvot. What is the reason I have to keep Torah? Harav, Chavat al-Vavot says it's only one reason, because of hakarat hatov. Because we are makir tov, HaKadosh Baruch Hu created us, we owe Him. Whatever He says, we have to listen. Makes sense, doesn't make sense, what condition. The whole bottom line of the whole chiyuv, the whole obligation of keeping Torah and mitzvot is only and only because of hakarat hatov. That's the only reason. No other reason. Why He was created, I have to be makir tov. If I'm not makir tov, there is no reason for you to exist. Not only to become a Jew, not only to be called a Jew. There's no reason to exist. You are not makir tov. Whatever Hashem did to you. You have a hard life? You don't like your wife? Your business doesn't go right? So what? It's a reason not to be makir tov to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, gave you life. Even He slaps on you. The Egyptians, even they give us such a hard time. I don't think anybody here would go such a yisurim that when they say, and during these 210 years they went. They had to put their children into the walls. But still HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, no. Be makir tov to Mitzrayim. Because you had a place to live there. When you, in the time of your need, you got the service. Don't deny that. Don't be a kifui tavo. The Haftarah of Shabbat Chazon, the Shabbat before Tisha B'Av. This is the Shabbat of the most the sadness day that we have at Tisha B'Av. The destruction of the first Bet HaMikdash, destruction of the second Bet HaMikdash. So Chazal, they want to choose a Haftarah to describe such a destruction. We have a Shabbat Chazon Yishaya, the Haftarah of Chazon Yishaya. Has to do with the week, has to do with the Shavua Shechal Bo, the week that we have such a sad day, Tisha B'Av in it. V'da shor konehu v'chamor avus be'alav, Israel lo yada, ami lo yitbonen. So in this Shabbat, how Chazal, they pick up this Navi to be read, this Haftarah, that we have to read it on Shabbat before Tisha B'Av. They are exactly pinpoint to the problem of a destruction. What's the very main reason of the destruction of the first Bet HaMikdash, second Bet HaMikdash, all the bad things that happened to Klal Israel? What is your pinpoint to say one problem? What is that problem? Yada shor konehu ve'Yisrael lo yada. You are not even like a chamor and a shor. Very interesting. Chida says, Yada shor konehu, brings a mice in Yerushalmi. Chida brings the mice that was there was once a person sold his cow. He needed the money. He didn't have enough money. He didn't need it. So he sold this cow. So this cow didn't work on Shabbat. This guy bought this cow. Wasn't working on Shabbat. Pinching him, beating him. Nothing helps. On Shabbat, Shabbat ba menucha ba. So he goes back to the owner and says, what did he, it doesn't work. He says, what do you mean it doesn't work? Yeah. When it comes Saturday, it doesn't work. Oh, in Shabbat you mean? So he goes, okay, let me fix it for you. He goes and he tells this cow, as long as I own you, the halacha is that an adam mesuveh shevitat behemato, a person has to, or shouldn't work with his behema. So you are mechuyav to the Torah. So as you be owned by a Jew, a cow is owned by a Jew, it cannot work. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have money. I sold it to. Now your owner is a goy. So you are allowed to work. So he says, okay, take him. Next Shabbat, the cow works. This cow knows who is the owner. Is a Jew is the owner or a goy is the owner? The cow knows. Our Chida says that the Pasuk says, that cow knew who is the owner. And you don't know who is your owner. You don't know your creator. In parentheses, the list of the Maaseh is that this person became a ger because he saw such a thing was amazing, and he became a ger. They call him. He became a Jew. He became a Amora. Rabbi Hanan Turta. They call him. Turta means cow. Oh, that Rabbi Hanan cow. Because of that cow, he became a ger and became a Jew. Became Amora. But here it says, what is the problem of the destruction of first Bet HaMikdash, second Bet HaMikdash, Tisha B'Av, Yada Shor Koneo? You will compare with that shore. That shore knew the owner. Ami Israel lo Yada. Your problem is you don't have Hakarat Hatov. That's the bottom line of the destruction of first Bet HaMikdash, second Bet HaMikdash. The sense of Hakarat Hatov, not to be a kafui tova, first starts with the people around us. And Chinuch says that the practicing of not being kafui tova with the people around us, which start with the father and mother, which start with people, individual people, they do something to us, or organizations, they do something good to us. Do I have a chiyuv to pay back? Hakarat Hatov. Any place, anybody. It starts from people around you. And the whole purpose is to train yourself and to remember, if to my father and mother I have Hakarat Hatov, how much I go out of my way to respect them, even they are a burden for me. Even in old age, they cannot do anything. I have to support them. Yes, you should. HaKadosh Baruch Hu that always supports you. You shouldn't have Hakarat Hatov. You have to be trained. If a person doesn't, Chinuch says, if a person doesn't go through that training system of being Makir Tov to the people around him, eventually he won't be a Makir Tov to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He has to be so serious for you. You have to be so important for you. Any tovah that you get, it shouldn't go free. That's the training that you have to let yourself know. I don't get anything for free. Be makir tov. You got something, give it back. This is a sense of avodat Elokim, Chovat Avot says. The whole purpose of keeping the mitzvot is we are to be makir to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And this is before Rosh Hashanah. If really we understand the importance of this Hakarat Hatov, we have a much better judgment. To feel such a being makir tov towards HaKadosh Baruch Hu for all the tovah that you are being surrounded for. For every tovah that we are. Might be a little hard here and there. And we have a better avodat Elokim. And we have a better Judgment Day.